everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of Little Shop of Nerds. I am Julia.
Hi, what's up, guys?
So, last week's hint was Batman is a fascist.
Okay, yes. Now, this is going to be all me today.
Yeah, I have not seen this movie. I'm not really interested in seeing this movie. So, Mike, take it away.
Alright, today, the hint is referencing a movie that came out in 2023. Wow, not that far off. Wow. So, it's really recent. It's called Blue Beetle. Now, if you're not familiar from DC Comics, Blue Beetle is a comic book superhero. He's got a thing on his back called a scarab. It's an alien technology that gives him this superhuman armor, kind of like Iron Man, but it's out of space. And he can make weapons from his mind, and he's a cool. And like I said, I'm not too familiar for the comics, but I've seen him in other things. He's a nice guy, nice dude. He's strong, and let's just get into the movie. All right. It opens like your typical superhero movie. The villains, sorry, one of the villains is named Victoria Cord. Her brother is Ted Cord, who is the second Blue Beetle. Well, I'll give you a little bit of a history. Now, if you all know about superhero comic books, superhero movies, is that there's more than one Blue Beetle. Like, say, if one dies, the other one picks up the mantle, becomes the new Blue Beetle. Well, there's three. His name is Dan Garrett. The other one's Ted Cord. And the one that we're talking about is Jaime Reyes. And here's the thing. It's a big-ass movie. I think it's a great movie, but I'll give you my opinion to the end. Like I said, it opens up with Victoria Cord, her bodyguard, Carpax. They're trying to find this alien technology known as the Scarab. Like I said, it's an alien technology. It looks like it look like a scarab beetle, like you see in the Egyptian hieroglyphs and everything. And they're trying to find it. They found it. A scientist named Victoria calls her Sanchez, but his last name is La Cruz. And yeah, it's kind of a humor way of she's being kind of a racist asshole. But it's funny because throughout the whole movie he kept saying, "That's not my last name." She finds it because she needs this alien technology because she's trying to make a one-man army armor for people, for the military, everything to help. In one way, she's war profiting, meaning she's trying to make pretty much war technology to fund to the military, make her rich, that type of bullshit. The old Bond villains, if you prefer. Then, after she finds it, and then we cue with Jaime graduating from college, studying pre-law, and when he's going through the airport, you see him with his family, and they welcome him back. They take him to the. Now one thing you need to know: he has his whole family. It's his dad, mom, his uncle or his tío. His uncle is played by George Lopez. His uncle, his name is Rudy, and he's pretty much a funny guy throughout the film. I'm not gonna lie. His sister, I can't pronounce that.
Milagro. Milagro, yeah.
Sorry for the people in the
Hispanic community.
Sorry,
Latin community.
Yeah, Latin community. I'm sorry, I'm not really fluent in Spanish. I'm pretty much a white person, so bear with me. So I'm sorry if I mispronounce things. Please forgive me. But yes, to Turns out what happened is they're going about to lose their house. And, they're going to lose their house. His dad had an auto shop. They had to close down because he had problems with his heart. And, you could tell he's not from a good neighborhood. He lives in the poor side of a neighborhood. And technically, he's just trying to picture how he can get his family out. And he thinks he could because he has this pre-law degree. He can, get out, get a better job. Until, this is when it's going to hit you in the face. The people who goes to college, I agree you should go to college. You want to further your education. But I also want to make a point out before we go on, is try to get a job when you're in college. Even if it's just a part-time job, try to work so you can get that experience. Because in the real world, even if you have like this college degree, it doesn't mean you're going to get that high-paying job. What do you think, Jules?
What?
Okay. I said if you're in college, you should try to work a part-time job to have the work experience.
I mean, if you want to, yeah. I mean, it's up to the
it's up to them, but even with
I mean, I didn't.
Well, I get it. Neither did I, but I had trouble finding a job. But I'm talking about, like, say, people who get a college degree, they think they're going to get the high-paying job, but it turns out they can't because they said they need work experience.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's all up to you if you want to do it. But
I mean, there are also internships that they could do, but some of them aren't paid.
Yeah, and that's why I say, why work for free?
But then the internships does give you
a leeway,
that experience, that employment history or experience that you need to get into.
And I agree, but it's still you might want to have the work history too, because like I had to work to get to college. Mm-hmm. I had to work in high school. But like I said, that's my opinion. Please take that with a grain of salt. I don't want to hear in the comments saying, I'm an asshole, you didn't get a college degree. I'm like, yeah, I didn't get a college degree.
Yeah, I didn't get one either.
But we had to work because we couldn't afford it. So to all those people who can afford it, try to work for a bit. Try to get the taste of working for your dollar before you judge.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. I know there's people out there who use scholarships because they can't afford it, and that's why I say that's good because it helps them to learn to further their education. And I agree, people who needs it, they need it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say they don't, they do.
Okay, we'll get back on topic.
Okay, besides that, like I said, Jaime learned in the real world he couldn't get a job, so he had to take a job as pretty much a cleaner. For rich people, pretty much. Kind of like a maid. And his sister got him this job. And, he's kind of upset because he thought he was going to be getting this big, high-paying job. But he's there cleaning. His sister had to go use the rich people bathroom because she wants to actually use a rich person's bathroom than a crappy bathroom. Which I don't blame
I don't blame her, yeah.
Because hell, if I go to a rich person and they have a bidet, I'm going to be like, I'm using that fucking toilet, man. Mm-hmm. But besides that, Jaime overhears Jenny arguing with her aunt Victoria, and her aunt Victoria is played by Susan Sarandon.
Okay.
You might know her from.
I know who Susan Sarandon is.
All right. Besides that, they're getting a little scuffle because she doesn't like it because Victoria's ruining her dad's legacy. But with Victoria saying, I'm trying to clean up what he did. But here's the thing. Her dad was an inventor. He wanted to create something that could help people, protect people, not profit from war. But Victoria doesn't see that. She needs a profit, and she thinks military would make more of a profit. Then she sticks her bodyguard on her. Jaime steps in and say, hey, then know what happens? He gets fucking fired because he was trying to help her out. And his sister gets fired because she was using the bathroom. In my opinion, I'm like, fuck you, I'm getting fired because I'm using a bathroom, and also I'm trying to help someone. That's kind of like a messed up rule. But besides that, Jenny felt bad. She said, "Hey, come to Cord Industry. I can get you interest. Just come to the Cord building, right? To help get him a job, maybe get his sister a job." They all do it. The family's there cheering him on, and it's all good, well endowed. And Jenny's there trying to get the scarab because she knew that her Aunt Victoria was looking for the scarab. And she takes it in like the typical fashion. She takes a box from a Big Belly Burger. Now, through my nerd history fans, if you guys seen Arrow, The Flash, or the Arrow Universe shows on the CW, you know the Big Belly Burger. It's like a big restaurant like McDonald's and stuff. So she takes a meal box from Big Belly Burger and hides it in there, trying to escape nonchalantly. Then the scientist LaCruz says, something happened. That scarab's been taken, and gives it to Jenny. Jenny walks away, and the security's trying to find it, and Jaime finds Jenny, and Jenny's like, "Hey, take this. Don't look at it. Don't open the box." And one way, she gave it to him so she doesn't look like the wiser that she has it. So Jaime goes. The family's like trying to figure out what's going on at their home because they say you were going to go to get jobs, but you didn't. And they say, "Hey, open it up," and they did. He's like, "No, we shouldn't," and they did. They were playing around with it. Jaime grabs the scarab, and the scarab gets onto him, gets onto his back, and it actually goes into his back and makes the suit, turns him into the Blue Beetle you see before. And the scarab is called Kaija. Kaija. And they, pretty much in funny fashion, when you get like a new power, like I said, the suit sometimes controls what he can do because, it's a smart sentient trying to protect its host, pretty much. Like if the host doesn't want to kill him, say say he wants to do this, but she knows it's too dangerous. She'll make the rocket boots go up, so he doesn't do anything stupid, pretty much. But besides that, they go home. Like they're trying to figure out to find him, but Uncle Rudy's telling him, he's like, "No, you can't do that," because he says, because think, a guy from this part of the neighborhood who has this kind of technology from a rich person's headquarters, they're going to bring cops and everything wandering down, bring immigration on them, and the whole satire. You get the point. He comes back. They're trying to figure out what to do, and Jenny comes, tell him what's going on, what it is. She feels bad. They go to Cord Industry. Goes to Cord with Rudy. Well, actually, before all that, she finds Jenny at Cord. She needs to tell him what happened. And Jaime takes his uncle's truck, finds Jenny, and security's coming, and they're driving away. And they get back to the house. They figure out what they're trying to do. And they have an idea to sneak back into the building without rising security. Rudy made this machine that can scrambles the security monitors and everything. And, he's waiting in the truck, and they try to see what's going on. What they were trying to do is get her dad's watch. Because her dad's watch is a key to his secret lair. And, they get it. They go back. And ba bing, ba boom. They're getting chased by security. Victoria's bodyguard comes, tries to kill him. Kaijin's trying to actually wants to kill, but Jaime's like, no, we don't kill. But they're making weapons, like everything. Like, say if he wants to make a weapon, he can make it from his mind, pretty much. And they escaped. They go to Jenny's dad's mansion and go to his secret underground lair. And this is when we find out. Then we get the hint, which is Batman. Like, say, Jaime says, "Well," is like, "Wow," is like, she's like, "What? Not original?" It's like, "No, it's good. It's like Batman stuff, but it's all weird and stuff." And his uncle Rudy says, "Batman's a fascist. Blue Beetle had a sense of humor." And turns out, Jenny's dad, Ted Kord, is the second Blue Beetle. And if you want to know, the Ted Kord Blue Beetle is like Batman pretty much, but with a beetle and not with batarangs, more like crazy gadgets that are weird, but also effective. And you get the point. They're trying to, and once you look at this stuff, I tell you, like his computers, you know how Batman's got the Bat computer and everything?
Mm-hmm.
These computers look like they're from the 80s, 90s. You see like 80 like you see a Pong console, a original Nintendo set, and I'm like, he's making it look. Let's just say Ted Kord is like the MacGyver of Batman, kind of.
Okay.
And if y'all doesn't know what MacGyver is, because I know you don't.
He's a detective of some sort. That would just make.
No, MacGyver is kind of like
he could make anything out of like just random stuff.
Yeah, like say he could make.
But wasn't he a detective?
I think he was more like a secret agent detective, kind of, if you look at it. Not like secret agent, but just like certain missions that he had to do.
I might not have watched MacGyver, but
it's been a while for me.
I kind of know a little bit, mostly because of Family Guy.
Well, that too, but it's been a while. It's been a while for me, though, because I haven't seen it in a while. But yes, it's like he takes every item and makes it into, like, say he could take a gun, like, he could take, like, candlesticks and wires and make a defibrillator if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that,
I don't know how that would work, but okay.
You get the point. It's just, so Rudy, they turn on the computer, they try to figure out about the Scarab, and Jenny's talking about how her and her mother, like, how distant her and her father be, because after her mother died, and you get the typical fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Then Rudy found out more about the Scarab. But here's the thing, like the Scarab gets infused with its host pretty much, and let's just say only way to remove it is by killing Jaime. That's the only way you're going to be able to move it.
Who is that? Who's Jaime?
Jaime is the third Blue Beetle.
Oh, okay.
And Jaime, like say, if they want to get the Scarab off Jaime, they would have to kill him because the Scarab is fusing with his cells, with blood cells, human cells. You get the point. Pretty much they're becoming as one. Only way to get it off him is by killing him.
Okay.
So let's just say they can't get it off him right now. Jaime doesn't like it because he doesn't want to be a hero. He wants to be normal, try to save. And Rudy had to go up there and just say, hey, man, just a actually good heart-to-heart talk. Saying, hey, you're like your dad. Because, like, when your dad got here, he was, like, busting his ass trying to get me and your grandmother over here. You had to be a dishwasher, waiting tables, trying to be, and it was actually a nice heart-to-heart talk that George Lopez was doing. And like I said, he's a funny guy, but it was just like, when you see a comedian doing, like, a heart-to-heart thing,
mm-hmm.
you kind of feel it. It's kind of like how you see Robin Williams doing a drama, or when you see Adam Sandler doing a movie you never thought he would be actually a good hit with. You get the point. It was like that mixture that you never see.
Mm-hmm.
And Victoria found out who the scarab belonged to. They go to Jaime's house, try with a bunch of guards trying to get Jaime, and Jaime had to go save him and doing everything like a big awesome fight. Tried to get his family, and this is what happens. Once they almost escaped, no, his sister got pretty much knocked down by a guard. The dad comes to save her. And throughout the battle, you see Jaime seeing his dad having a cardiac arrest. And he dies. And you know that scene from Harry Potter where, from Order of the Phoenix, where they killed off Sirius Black and they muted the crime and the scream because it turns out it was so emotional because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They did the same thing, and I tell you guys, it meant my heart. Felt like it almost made me cry a little because I lost a parent. I lost a parent. It's a hard thing to do, but you can feel the emotion, like how you felt in the Harry Potter movie. You feel that gut wrenching when they did the silent cry. They did that same thing in Spider-Man No Way Home. You feel that when they do that, you feel it. You feel the pain. You feel the hurt.
Well, I mean, the only thing with the Harry Potter, though, the Harry Potter movie, is the only reason why they did it was because Daniel Radcliffe's cry was so gut-wrenching.
It was.
But we don't know if that's the way that it was with, they might have done it for dramatic effect. Like, maybe their cry wasn't as because,
yeah, I agree.
Because, with Moulin Rouge, at the end of Moulin Rouge, where Christian is crying, that was kind of anguished, but then they did kind of, silence it a little bit to give it that dramatic effect.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's that dramatic effect.
So it might not have been as anguished, whereas what they did with Daniel Radcliffe and Harry Potter is they had to mute his because it was so anguished.
Yeah, it was so anguished, but I heard that he also lost a family member or something. That's why he was like that. But besides that, with that dramatic effect, it made you felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, when Jaime got distracted, the villains take him away, and they take him way back to the lab, right? Their secret lab, like they do in every fucking superhero movie. That's now I need to make a list on every superhero cliche.
I mean, we can do that.
But besides that, the family, they're feeling down. They lost Jaime's mom lost a husband. Sister lost a father. He lost a father. And his sister was starting to cry. But this is what I thought was actually pretty awesome. The grandmother, throughout the whole movie, the grandmother does speak Spanish. Don't worry, they got subtitles. And telling her, I know how you're feeling, but right now it's not time to cry right now. You need to go save your brother. Telling her we need to go save him. Then Jenny's like, maybe we can do the help. And they do actually go save him with some of the gadgets they use. And they use it. And here's the thing you need to know about Ted Kord. You know how Batman has the Batmobile? He's got a giant blue robot beetle that you can fly around like a jet.
What is up with all of the superheroes with, this high-tech gear? I can understand Batman having all this high-tech gear because he's rich as fuck, but I don't think the Blue Beetle would be as rich as Batman.
I think he was rich, but don't forget, he can make shit out of stuff.
That's true.
So, like I said, this is Ted Kord. So, in one way, if they're rich enough, they can make it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going through like Rudy's flying the ship. They're going through gadgets, and they found Jaime's sister found a little gauntlet, and this will look familiar to you. If anyone who plays the original Nintendo system from the 80s, if you remember the Power Glove, and she puts it on, and a blue like a plasma shield comes out. She calls it a no, it was a she calls it a bug shield because it was a shield. But she also pressed something, and a plasma fist comes and makes a plasma fist. But you get the point. He made this gizmo out of a Nintendo Power Glove, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Then you see the grandma holding this Gatling gun, and all these squares that are moving around the barrel, around the body of a gun, look like a Rubik's Cube. And she's holding it, pull it, like letting her hair down, and she's excited. And I'm like, okay, that's funny as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, pretty dope. And she's trying to, and this is the grandma's idea how to get inside the facility. They're looking at a hologram of the map. She says, we need to go through the tunnels. Jaime's sisters ask, like, how do you know that, Grandma? And she's like, and her mom's like, well, you're going to have to, I guess we're going to have to tell you about your grandmother's revolution days. Mm-hmm. So, in one way, she was a bad freedom fighter, pretty much. So, they did the whole fashion skate. Before that, you see the villains trying to take the data from the Scarab to power up their own Scarabs called the OMAC, and transferred to the bodyguard, and a big fight suits, and La Cruz helps Rudy escape, saying, get out of here. He's like, what are you going to do? I'm going to hold him off. And Victoria's like, Sanchez, what are you doing? And he's like, my name is not Sanchez. And he shouts out his whole name, then says, I can't remember the name, but I do know his last name's La Cruz, and pretty much his big badass moment. Mm-hmm. And also, La Cruz is played by the guy who plays Guillermo in What We Do in the Shadows. Great show, by the way. Check that out. Besides that, they did the whole try to fight each other, try to take down the guards. And this is why I think it's kind of funny. The grandma loves using that Gatling gun, takes out most of the guards, and she hears guards coming, and Jaime was ready to defend her, but he's like, push him back behind her, and puts her hand. She just laughs while she's shooting the guards. I'm like, Granny Rambo. Oh yeah, we need a movie of that.
She was laughing. The grandma was laughing.
Yeah, she's like
shooting the guards.
Yeah, it's like that. That guy who, like, that trigger happy guy you see in every 80s movie. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what she's like, because she used to be a freedom fighter. Like I said in the movie that she was. So they get everyone back. Jenny's getting captured by Victoria. Jaime's fighting the bodyguard, and everything, having a fun moment. He was ready to kill the bodyguard because he thought he killed his Uncle Rudy, who was trying to get the bodyguard off Jaime because he got him pinned down. Mm-hmm. And he was ready to kill him. And Kaijia was like, no, we don't kill. And he sees Rudy on the bug ship and saying, hey, I'm alright. And I get the point. And Victoria escaped. Jenny escaped from Victoria. They get on the ship. They go home. Oh, and before that, turns out the bodyguard used to be part of. He said that his family would make him weak, but it turns out he was part of a military in his country, and his memory got wiped clean by Victoria, making him into a monster that he is. And when he got his memories back, and Victoria said, "Hey, we can go back to no, I'll help you, fix you," and he realized nah, and he pretty much you think just killed off Victoria. And they all get on the ship, go home, relax, and the grandmother said, "Now it's okay. Now we can cry since the battle is over." And now they're trying to figure out how to fix stuff, how to get stuff done. And they just said, "Hey, it's going to take time." In the typical fashion, the neighborhood comes together and help out. Jenny comes back saying, "I can give you a job, whatever," and it ends. And now before I know you guys wondering why I didn't do it like a normal running review. I just thought it would be kind of nice just do a little short review, not make it long and drag, not do a joke, because I decided to do this a little serious because I think this movie is awesome. I know you guys thought this review sounds boring, I'm missing some stuff, but I just think it was just doing a quick review I wanted to do today. But besides that, I want to say this movie is awesome. It got what? A 78 maybe on Rotten Tomatoes.
You want me to look it up real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Alright, guys, let's...
You keep talking, I'll look it up.
Like I said, it's a good movie. This movie was so great, it needed more love. Like, it got good comments from critics. The fans loved it. Somehow it did not make back its box office record. And people say it's good, some say it's not, and I'm like...
It got a 78% from critics and 91% from the audience.
Oh, okay, see right there.
So it did better than you actually thought it did.
Right. And here's the thing. You see how she said that? It got a lot of... But here's the thing. If it did so well with these people, why did it not make back its box office debut? And I looked up some stuff. People said... And I admire people's opinions. I agree. If you didn't think it was good enough, it was not great, okay, I can take your word for that. It's not good. It's not for you. But to me, it's good. But one thing you need about the movie biz, it needs to make a profit on its box office debut. But it did not do that. And some say it was because of the SAG strike. Some say it could have been, this and that. My opinion, no offense, I'm a Marvel fan. I love Marvel. But it's not just Marvel. But I know a lot of people like to dig on DC, but there's a couple... You can find that in my rant in our last episode.
But people don't really go to the movies.
Movies nowadays. No, they don't.
After the pandemic, people just stopped going to the movies.
Yeah, because it's just, after that, no more movies. And they realize it's just easier to just stream shit at home. It's cheaper.
And that's the thing, and then companies like Disney and stuff know that. So then that gives them the chance to just keep bumping up the prices. Because look what they did when the live action Mulan movie came out. That was supposed to be released, or that was released during the pandemic. They were going to release it early that year, early 2020, and they didn't, and they released it later on. But then they were going to put it on Disney Plus, and you had to pay an extra $30 to rent it. You weren't good, and so then if you happen to cancel your Disney Plus subscription, you lost it. And then even if you did decide to get Disney Plus back, you're out $30 because, well, now I can't watch it. I own the DVD, so Charlie was not willing to help me pay $30 to see the movie, but I own it.
But yeah,
that's how we watched it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But that's a load of bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with you. And they did the same thing with the Suicide Squad movie came out, right? Mm-hmm. The new Suicide Squad, right? Not the one with Jared Leto.
Was it Birds of Prey?
No.
Oh.
No, it wasn't that. That, I consider that an okay movie, but it was more about heart.
Are you talking about the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Wasn't that Birds of Prey?
No, that was called The Birds of Prey. Something with Harley Quinn. There's the Suicide Squad, which was with Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is with John Cena. So I'm talking about the one with John Cena.
Okay, I have no idea about that one.
Yeah, it's fine. And what I'm talking about is the second one, right?
Okay.
What they did is they released the second one both in theaters and on Max. But one thing with Max, you didn't have to pay an extra price to watch it. You could just watch it.
Mm-hmm. Now, like, there's no problem going to the movies here. Like, if you want to go to the movies,
Yeah.
go to the movies. Like, because Mike and I, we went, we've said this before, we did go and see the new Demon Slayer movie, even though it really wasn't an actual movie. It was just kind of like a recap, and then the first episode of the new season, which we will talk about that when it's over.
But it's just, in my opinion, it was just, we went there.
And then Johnny Depp is having a new movie coming out, a new French movie that we're thinking about going and seeing in the theaters.
And we also want to go see the Legend of the White Dragon.
Yeah, it comes out in September sometime.
Made by Jason David Franklin. That's like his last.
That's his last movie.
That was his last role, people. But like I said, I feel like the movie deserved more love. But like you said, nobody goes to the movies nowadays. It's just simple just to stream it. And here's the thing, like when the Blue Beetle came out on Max, on the first week it came out on Max, they had like this little rating thing. Turns out it was like the #1 movie to watch when it came out. And I'm like, maybe it done better if it went to Max. Maybe it could have done better. Maybe it got
if it just went straight to Max.
Yes, like
where they released it in theaters and put it on Max, like what they did with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but it turns out the Suicide Squad movie, it got good reviews from critics, the audience, but it never made back its box office debut.
Okay.
Maybe it could have just been better if it just stayed on Max, like just perform it on Max.
Mm-hmm.
No, it looked good, had a good budget, Maybe it should have been better on Max, like how Marvel tries to put their stuff on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I have to say. I'm sorry, you Marvel fans. After Endgame, Marvel went downhill. I know you're going to fight me on it, but they did. And there's some fans that won't admit to that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to admit, I'm not going to also say DC's great, though they have a couple of clunkers.
I mean, I don't have an opinion on the matter anyways, because I'm not a superhero type person.
Yes.
The only superhero movie that I have seen has been The Batman with Robert Pattinson. And I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, yeah, that was an awesome movie.
And I do plan to see the other two when they come out.
Yeah, I heard.
I'll go with my boyfriend, because Charlie loves Batman.
I heard in the second film they're going to be I heard that the main villain might be Clayface, which I'm excited for.
Well, we'll talk about that once we get more information.
Well, either way, like I said, guys, I would recommend checking out the Blue Beetle movie. It's on Max. I recommend it. It's nice. It's funny. It's pretty much like if you were watching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt, though it's not made by Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Is that it?
Yes. Let's the next week's hint.
So next week's hint, and this is probably going to make it obvious to you all, but next week's hint is hi, Ken.
Yeah, it's right on the nose.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll look forward to that next week.
Yeah.
So we've got something to watch this week to talk about next week. So yeah.
Alrighty.
So anyways, like, subscribe, get us into that algorithm, guys.
Please.
So anyways, you guys have a good day, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.